This short video will provide an update on the Itch3's robot programming language based on Scratch. I made significant changes since the last time I made a video, mostly to the user interface and to the ease of blockology. So on this section here under motion, I've got some motion blocks to allow you to select a motor, left or right, in this case for Marvin, going forward and backwards, and these are to provide motion and of course stop. Under sensing, the only other place that I've added blocks, I've added a significant number of blocks to allow a lot of interfaces with the sensors on board various robots. So I've tried to be as generic as possible with respect to the sensors, but I did have to put them into some sort of bins and put a number or a limit on the number that I could be addressing. So these blocks here each individually update a type of sensor. So for example, this block here would allow me to update a bend sensor, and which particular bend sensor depends on which one I select. Now each of these blocks is designed to be able to select out 16 of each sensor class. So a sensor class of, say, proximity, I would have 16 in here, and same for all of them, all the other ones except for a special sensor class that I've reserved for oddball sensors that you're only likely to see one of on a particular robot, like a GPS or laser positioning or something like that. Now, in order to help collect data, you don't want to have to actually implement an update bend sensor command for each individual particular bend sensor every iteration, or however often you want to or need to during a program. I implemented a block here to update a sensor class. So you pick out the sensor class. So I've got bend, stretch, bump, proximity, sonar, etc. So these all represent classes of sensors. So that can be used to collect all the available information in one shot for all of one type of sensor. And finally, in this section, I've got sensor watchers. So I can include these sensor watchers as parts of a control sequence. Say, for example, I could say is bend sensor 4 less than 15 as a value, and I can use that to make a decision on. So if this condition is true, if this whole condition is true, then do something. Voila. Now, I have Marvin on standby here, so I'm going to actually go and show how to actually work with this robot from a sensing perspective. Now Marvin's tethered by a hard wire, so his motors are actually hoisted in the air so they don't move. So to begin with a robot, as I mentioned before, I put them on a wireless link. So you need to set a robot ID in order to ensure that you're picking the right one. So I set Marvin to be by default number 5, and we also have to establish communication. So I have a set serial comms, which I should probably put as a default over here, and I'll switch on my Marvin robot. So he's on. So now I'm going to ask it to connect through COM 2, and now he's connected. So now if I need to, I can update. The only ones that I have connected right now are my bend sensors, sorry, my proximity sensors and my bump sensors. So could update my proximity sensor 1, and I will, because that's the only way to get information. And you know, instead what I'll do is looking for a repeat forever. Repeat forever. There we go. No. There we go. And when my space key is pressed, do this. So I'm going to update my proximity sensors. Now what I want to do is actually watch those. So I'm going to move down here and look on proximity sensor 1, but I can also watch 2 or 3 or 4. Now I have 5 sensors set up, but that's fine. That's enough for now. So I'm going to press the space key here, and I'm getting values. Of course, not all the values that I was asking for. Oh, no wonder. I only asked for update proximity sensor 1. So let's just stop that. I don't want just proximity sensor 1. I want update all sensors in the class of proximity. Now we'll try this. There we go. We got values for all of them. So I'll just put my hands in the way here. And there we go. Those sensors are quite high actually, because there's wires and stuff sitting in front of them and one of them sitting beside the wall. But anyways, that's the interface so far.